In this week's AMT Fresh Produce Outlook on the market, Prof Juaneé Cilliers from the University will share her thoughts regarding why urban agriculture has become the new buzzword, and we have also seen high demand on the market, resulting in the tomato price to almost double the past week. All in this week's video, so make sure to stay tuned. Hi, I'm Johnny and welcome to this week's AMT Fresh Produce Outlook on the market, brought to you by Standard Bank. In this week's video, we talk to Prof Juaneé Cilliers from the University regarding urban agriculture, so make sure not to miss that. But let's go and see what happened to vegetable prices the past week. Potato prices again decreased by 3% week on week to R39.26 per 10 kilogram bag, with higher demand that may support the price the coming week. As expected, the tomato price increased by 78% to R8.26 per kilogram last week, with the price likely to remain on its higher level due to high demand and volumes that's still lower. The carrot price decreased by 11% to R2.69 per kilogram last week. However, high demand may result in this price to stay sideways or even move a little bit upwards. The onion price decreased by 8% week on week to R4.23 per kilogram, with the higher demand also expected to result in a sideways or even slightly upward movement in the price. When we look into the fruit industry, we saw most prices that came under pressure last week, mostly due to higher volumes as well as limited demand. Let's hope that high demand this week can support the prices. The banana price decreased by 14% to R6.64 per kilogram last week, while the apple and pear prices both decreased to R8.98 and R8.02 per kilogram respectively. The latest orange price also traded lower to R10.21 per kilogram, with a 16% decrease in the avo price to R37.54 per kilogram. We have also seen a 63% increase in avo volumes that resulted in the downward movement. We're also expecting higher avo volumes the coming season, which may result in prices to trade on a general lower level compared to the past year. As expected, better quality grapes supported the grape price, with the latest price of R14.34 per kilogram. But let's go and listen to Prof Juaneé Cilliers regarding urban agriculture and the potential for poverty alleviation as well as income generation. As promised, we're here with Professor Juaneé Cilliers from the University today. She's a town planner, urban and town planning, and that's a specialty. And we thought of talking about some urban agriculture and the trends and where we're moving towards. Welcome, Prof, and thank you for being here. Prof, there's a whole movement towards urban agriculture for food security and so forth. What have you seen regarding trends in the urban agriculture environment?
So from a spatial planning perspective, there's definitely an increase and a realization of the importance of urban agriculture. From a sustainability perspective, but also from the whole smart city concept, so where we try to enhance accessibility and choice. So by including urban agricultural options into our cities, we provide accessibility and choice in terms of food security. So from a spatial planning perspective, there's a realization that we should actually plan for these spaces and for these land uses that can enhance urban agriculture. So there's definitely a drive towards it to reclaim nature in our cities, but then part of that is to reclaim this land and space for urban agricultural practices.
We've seen that there's a lot of infrastructure already available for these urban agricultural developments, but what issues or factors that can limit the development have you seen in your time?
So currently it's really the practice of spatial planning that's not including urban agriculture as a land use. Yes. So we need to rethink spatial planning and the way we plan our cities and actually demarcate areas for urban agriculture. The other thing is definitely educating our communities into how do we go about with urban agriculture, with food and food security in our cities. And then also the technology part of it. So do we actually use the technologies that's available? Because technology now enables us to grow food where previously it was not possible.
Yes, of course.
So within limited spaces in cities, we are now able to grow food. So from a spatial perspective, that makes more sense.
Yes, and of course the transport factor, and if you take it back to the economic factor of it, it's much cheaper getting it to the market.
Yes.
And to the end consumer, of course. If you think of urban agriculture, you immediately think of big cities like Johannesburg and Cape Town and doing it on rooftops of major buildings. Have you seen that there's potential to include this or to take this to the smaller towns, of course?
For sure. So it's not only the technology part. Some things like community gardens or small-scale gardening and things like that is typical good examples of our smaller rural towns and things that we see work, and people in the community getting active and involved in those spaces. So there's a whole economic benefit then as well. So it's a food production economic benefit, but also the whole social sustainability where you can actually provide better services and accessibility to your communities.
I think that in countries such as South Africa, which poverty alleviation, food security and so forth, that's critical factors in improving and for our social structure in South Africa, it's important to address those factors. And I think urban agriculture ticks a lot of boxes regarding improving food security and poverty alleviation. Thank you very much, Prof Juaneé, and for this and more information, please don't hesitate to contact me.